like, okay, my instincts were right. Like universe has like listened to me. So it was really great. But yes, surreal experience yet because I could not, like believe that it's a true like thing that is happening. I felt like it's a dream. And then like now I have processed it. Like even before joining the session, I still saw the result again. Like it's becoming very cliche,
Mm.
but still I did that. So now it's like, okay, yes.
Good, Aryan. So, what is your response from your parents? Like, how did your parents respond to the result?
So my parents were like, I'm like the first chartered accountant of my like, I guess the
Okay.
whole family. Like,
Mm.
so like like they did not even know what chartered accountant was. So I was the one who chose this course and now I started doing it. Now they were really happy. Like, yes, the day when the result came, they could not, uh, got much time to
Right.
celebrate it, but that was a very emotional day. But yesterday they had planned a surprise celebration for me, and
That's
it
nice.
was really the like most adoring thing of my life
Mm.
till now.
Mm. So, Aryan, so at this junction, do you feel that the journey is worth it because you have saw ups and downs? It wasn't easy. So, in
Yes,
retrospection, do you think it's the right decision for you to take up CA?
yes, sir. It was definitely the best decision I guess I took in my life. However, like I would just tell like why I started CA because it was like when I topped in standard 12, like in the district and all, that gave me this confidence. Okay, to study, the habit of studying. Because my history was not like in like till standard 10, it was not so great. I was not the topper and all. I chose CA. And then like I joined this college also. Like that it was not like after school I just started CA. I started the
Mhm.
college. But in college they were like not teaching much. And I had this, so much, ignition to study and follow a discipline and schedule. That made me choose CA because I saw so many students pursuing this course. And this really taught me so much about life actually, other than academics also, like handling failures, not being ashamed of it. There was a lot much like hell many more lessons that I learned from this course. I don't think I see myself like learning like such things that handling my mental health and all from any other course that I learned here.
So, it has an
And also
overall
professionally,
transformational impact on your life in general, not just the
very
core
much,
parts.
very
Yes.
much so, very
And
much.
Aryan, as we are celebrating your success, the success of the 9% people who have cleared, you are very well aware that 91% of the students could not make it this time. So, what is your message to them, or what is your suggestion to them who would have crossed, let's say, 360, 370, who would have done it 3 to 4 times and still they are not able to see the light end of the tunnel? So, what's your suggestion for them?
My suggestion for someone who is crossing 360 or 370 is that, like they know the right track of studying, but they
Mm.
might, they should consider, like, reconsider the strategy. Because the problem that I went through was that I wanted to excel in each and every subject. Like, like
Mm.
I'm a chartered accountant student. So obviously I love studying about indirect tax, direct tax, costing. But the thing is that it's not about the love for the subject. We need to find a real and practical strategy to clear the exam on total. We should not aim at, getting exemption in each subject. This was the turning point in my life for clearing this exam.
So you
Because
believe that the way we do it, instead of focusing all subjects, like giving focus on certain subjects as king subject and pawn subject, that way you'll be able
yeah,
to
the
balance your.
strategy, all the techniques that you taught. So I still remember the day, like it was like after the May 23 results when all there was this like this person who had cleared and she had written a mark sheet in her note copy. You had shown us,
Ujjwala, yes,
and
yes,
yeah,
Ujjwala.
that day taught us that we should make a mark sheet. That thing
Right.
really did hit, and I
Mhm.
decided to do that. Like instead of getting 60 and 70 in all the subject, I focused on getting just practical 48s and 50s. Those were
Mhm.
really
Mhm. Nice. So Aryan, so what we'll do is we'll take a quick look about your journey. So how you have reached so far. So basically, we'll start with the summary video which you have just shared us. So from there, we'll also go into what actually happened. The reason being, see, the idea of we celebrating success of students is to help others because you're just saying on that day you were able to draw some inspiration from what Ujjwala has done. So in the next time when the May 24 results are out, I want a lot of people to talk about Aryan Sinha because of this particular video. We're able to correlate, we're able to draw inspiration, and he's the reason why I was able to clear. So that is exactly what it is. So this is a quick video which you have shared us. I'm playing it to begin with.
Hey everyone, this is provided by him down. So actually, I just like so I guess there's some odd.
Aryan, is the audio not audible?
No, sir, not properly.
Acha, I'll reshare it then. You can confirm now. How about now? Is it audible now?
Is mindset.
Uh,
The second one being planning,
yeah.
third one being ruthless implementation, and fourth being paper presentation. Eventually, through my self introspection and guidance provided by him, sir, I realized that the area where I was stuck on was the mindset. I was so much ashamed of accepting failure that I could not, even though I had a well made plan and all the capabilities to do all the effort, but because of the lack of clear mindset, I was unable to clear the exam. I was so much frustrated and I questioned my self-worth to an extent where I felt that I am just, you know I have zero competence to ace this examination. But because of this amazing guidance and techniques that was taught to us in the mentorship program, that really helped me. One such technique was focused block technique, where we used to divide 1 hour of study into 50 minutes of study, and in the remaining 10 minutes, we used to revise whatever we studied in the 50.
So Aryan, at this junction, I just paused the video. I want to understand, even after reaching 350, 360, why do you think people reach a point where you can't move forward? Like, why does that happen for CS students, where after a point they think that they cannot clear any longer? What do you think is the reason for that?
So like so it's in CA finals, most of the students are really hardworking because they
Hmm.
have already followed the journey, which is not like possible for each and everyone. And
Right.
now that gives them a confidence that like they can clear any sort of examination out there because already the trauma and mental battle that we suffer in article shape, intermediate, even entrance for lot many people. But still, when they come in CA final, they feel that they can clear it, but when they see failure on and on and on, it really becomes very shameful, I feel, because for me it was that I could not see failure
Hmm.
because I was someone who cleared like in one attempt. Like even though I could not clear intermediate in attempt both groups, I cleared first group, second group, and like that. So that really made me feel like okay, CA is my thing. I can do that. But when I came in CA finals, even though my work efforts were tremendously good, but I could not. That thing I really like that because of your help and mentoring, I worked on that, and you told us not to be harsh on oneself,
Yeah.
and that was the thing really helped me because like even I have this friend, she was also a really great in her academics and all, but she got frustrated. She also followed two attempts, like she also
Mhm.
gave the two attempts as mine, but
Mm.
and one attempt she did not give this November 23 because
Right.
she could not handle this failure.
Right.
Now she has this taken this leap of 6 months to get over the failure. So this is the problem, sir. The mindset is the problem, especially students who are crossing 350s. The problem is not their wrong way of studying. Their
Yeah.
studying way and pattern
Mm.
is really good, but the
Mm.
problem is the mindset. Like we need to accept that okay, if we have chosen a tough course, it's not something that everyone can do, and failure is something which is very much common in this course,
Right.
and success is really rare and precious. So, and somehow we will, one or two attempts we might fail, but if our energy and instincts and determination is out there, we are definitely going to clear it.
Okay.
It might take attempts. I feel attempt is being really victimized. Like people have really victimized this word a lot. Rather we should replace it with opportunities. Like it's not like even
Right.
UPSCs, they have like 6 attempts, and then after that you cannot even give. But in chartered accountant course, we have so many attempts. Like we can give it like till whatever. So it's opportunity. We have so many opportunities. This change of perception is pretty much important for clearing this examination. We
Wonderful.
should not focus on clearing in the first attempt or getting rank. Okay, like yes, I was also at a point where I felt that I should get rank, but now life gave me this, the more, this is actually the universe way of teaching us of respecting this degree. If I would have cleared this in first attempt and
You would
might
not
have
have.
got rank, I
Yes.
would not have really understood that what hard work means, because I was always this happy-go-lucky guy who really cleared with, like not much effort, but I got cleared. Somehow the universe was favoring me at that point, and this really helped me. Like these attempts were really important to understand what hard work is, and now I will respect this degree throughout my life.
I really like the way you process this cycle, Aryan, because they say it's not about what happens, how you respond to what happens, like the way you're responding, the way you internalize things. I'm really happy and proud that you're able to take it in the right spirit. Yes. Uh, in terms of failures, yes, if you're considering them as opportunities, that's the best way to look at it. And I believe this is what every student has to process. And as I said, 350 is equal to 400 because it's just a matter of one more attempt. So they should not get stuck. And with the current scheme of things, I think it's far more easier as compared to how you would have done it. Now, if you have to choose between November and May, what would you actually choose? 8 papers or 6 papers? What do you think would work for you?
Okay, I'll go for so I have not much explored the new syllabus thing, but I did not want to go in the new syllabus. I was just so fine and okay because I had the, like I was
Mm,
so much equipped with studying what I have already studied, and
right.
the only key is revising more and more.
Mm,
So
mm,
all
mm,
in every attempt I actually studied. There was no attempt where I did not study. So
right.
these things were already accumulating in a very positive way in my mind. Like there was this input tax credit chapter in IDT where I could not. There were so many questions in those chapter, and that's really crucial for indirect tax. And I was never able to solve that. There were like 140 question or something in the question bank, and I remember in November 22 attempt I solved till 50. Then in May
Mm.
23 attempt, I solved till I revised the first 50 questions.
Nice. Mm.
Then I reached 100, and then in this attempt, I solved all the questions and re-revised all those questions. So that really, I did not take attempt in so negative way, and this
Right.
became only possible because of your guidance, sir. I will totally, give all the credit to you.
No, no, that's not
In
how
that,
it works.
there's an effort was mine, obviously, but this change of mind was not like something that I could have done on my own.
I understand.
So somehow I believe everything happened like
For a reason.
because
Yeah.
of universe sent you to me to help me. Like the way kind of motivation you gave me, that every time you told that Aryan, you should consider yourself as a chartered accountant. Those things were like that time I could not even, I felt like okay, really I should feel like a chartered accountant. And now when I see that okay, I am a chartered accountant, it's really great. Like
Good, Aryan, good. Because when I use the term future seer, this is what it is. It's just a matter of time. See, because time solves most of the things. It's just that when the time is not so favorable to you, you just have to stay still, stay at the crease. So the way you did it is really inspirational. And let's get back to your story and let's continue from there. Yeah. So we looked into this part and we were able to get some insights on how we summarized everything in just a couple of minutes.
But also,
Now let us move to the next part of this. So you have joined the Hall of Fame. Probably, you would have seen most of their videos and testimonials multiple times, and now you will be joining their club. So this is an interesting aspect of clearing with us. And we always look at the existing mark sheet and target mark sheet. So this particular discussion is all about how did you move, because these numbers reflect something. and these numbers reflect something else. And in some of the papers, there's a dip in scores also. But then, as you rightly pointed out, it's not about what you score at an individual level. How would you actually see that the aggregate is covered, although you might end up scoring lesser marks than what you could have. So can you explain this in detail? Or what I'll do is let's do it in the framework sheet. So let me just open, yeah, this. Yeah. So can you quickly run me through the scores, or should I open it and do it? Do you remember all the scores?
So May 23, it was FR, it was 29.
Okay.
And SFM, it was 37.
Or let me do it. Let me make it easy for you. So I'm just picking up from your mark sheet directly. It's 53. It's hard to remember the scores of two attempts, right?
Yeah.
So 47 and 37, I believe. So these are the scores. 36 and then 67, 39 and 41. Okay. So the total was 355, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. This time it's 48, 45, 54, 50, 42. This stays intact. 67, 43, and 59. Nice. So 408.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Aryan, help us understand what changed in each of this. Like in each of the paper, what actually changed?
So what happened? I'll tell the unfiltered and unadulterated version. So
Right.
the thing is that when I started this mentorship program before the May 23 results.
Hmm.
So by that time, the May by like May 23 results came out. I was already on track, following
Hmm.
the scripted schedule that you told us,
Hmm.
studying like all day, like 6 hours, 7 hours. It's evidenced by all the videos also,
Right.
but was it recorded? So but and everything was on track, but
Hmm.
the thing is that end of the day it's a program, and program is basically it's a coded version and we
Yes.
need to follow. And somehow I got so much carried away by comparing myself to other great students in the session. There
Hmm.
was this person, I don't remember his name, but he was perfect at everything. Whatever you told us, like to wake up at 5 a.m. and start the study, he was out there, started studying, and he followed everything that you told. And I wanted to be like him by that
Right.
time. And that was
Hmm.
this comparing thing. And because I was unable to do that. So
Right.
instead of, focusing on my chartered accountant course, I started focusing on studying his way. But there is
Right.
always in this course, clearing any exam, there is only your way and correct
True.
guidance.
True.
And that was my mistake. And because of that comparison that I did with that person, it got so I got so frustrated that 2 months before I stopped following those plans. And that's
Understand.
why and that was a really, and I freaked out a bit. Like it was not like I had this habit of freaking out every time
Hmm.
in the previous attempts too, but that time when I freaked out. But this time I had the, like in November 23, when 2 months before when I freaked out, I had this backing of your great mentorship and technique. So I did not fall to level zero. I did not even fall also. What
Right.
I did, I just instead of following the best way that you taught us, I followed my way little bit. Like, but with your guidance and your techniques, everything I did, instead of following and excelling each and every techniques that you taught us, I just filtered out the things
Focused
that
on
suited
few techniques.
best to
Right.
me.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's why my scores are not so great. But
Right.
if I had followed your techniques as I was following since start, without being freaking out and all, without trying to compare myself with other students, I would have really got great marks. But
No, no, this is, see,
this
Aryan, the
happened.
whole objective of this is we only look at fail and pass. The number would not matter because if you notice, Nobody would have asked about your score, what happened, how much is this, and
Yeah,
it doesn't matter at all, because if you're focusing on rank, the game is very different. If not a rank, it does not matter. So the
yeah, yes.
objective is, how do you cross that line with the minimum possible effort and highest
Hmm.
possible certainty. So we focus on certainty. Now, when you write it, you know that you're going to clear. This is exactly how we operate. So, Aryan, let's
Yeah.
pick up one particular thing which has worked for each and every subject. Now, let's start with FR. So you improved plus 13 in FR. So what
Hmm.
changed? So how were you able to move from fail to pass in FR? Like, what is the most important thing which has worked for FR?
FR is filled with so many indices,
Hmm.
and when we study individual indices, it's pretty easy to understand and
Hmm.
solve all the
Hmm.
questions of that. But
Hmm.
when all these indices are compiled and we have to solve questions collectively, it becomes pretty confusing because there are so many other minute points on which they test us. So revision is extremely important. Instead of studying new indices and thinking that okay, I have not done so many indices and I should expand my horizon of studying,
Hmm.
rather focus on the extent that we have already studied and focus on revising. Revision is
Okay.
extremely
Okay.
extreme.
So, in terms of Indias, instead of trying to do everything, whatever you have done, revision is important so that you'll be able to score more from that limited set. Good. Now,
Yeah, and
yeah,
whenever we start new index, we need to revise all the index that we have done before and then
yes.
start the new index. That's the key.
Yes. Yes. So this is the key revision. Now, SFM, you have cleared it both the times. Now it's AFM. So, what is it which worked for you for SFM? By doing X, you are always able to clear SFM. What is that one point thing which will help people to understand how to clear SFM?
With SFM, there are like formulas and all, and
Hmm.
also the thing with solving questions is that when we are solving at our
Hmm.
home alone,
Hmm.
things become we are very it's in a very dedicated manner. It becomes easy to solve the questions, but and we follow a flow at that point, and we are getting all the answers right. But in exam, what it happens that we get confused in the minute points, like okay, was it actually multiplication or division, was it actually we needed to add this or subtract this. So these are the minute points on we get confused. Actually, I got confused on those minute points. So I started focusing even on the easy questions that I solved. I saw that okay, what's the manner, what are the steps that I'm following, I'm going to replicate this in the main day. So those things helped me and it made me ace it. But still, it's always about the questions, the type of questions. Paper might be tough, paper might be easy, but if we are following a manner, a step, and focusing even on the easy things
Hmm.
and tough things, so we all focus. So
Hmm.
that thing really works in solving questions.
So you're saying stepwise solutions for solving any kind
Yeah,
of question.
yeah. Even if you're solving something easy, we need to like when we are doing the first reading, obviously, we need
Hmm.
to see properly, okay,
Hmm.
what we did, and make a little
Hmm.
note around near the question, okay, what we
Hmm.
did, so that when
Hmm.
we are doing the third revision, we see that note and it becomes easy. Also,
Okay.
summarizing is also important. Each
Hmm.
chapter, like
Hmm.
portfolio management and all, it's very
Hmm.
important.
And
The
creating
index
chapter
summary that
summaries.
you taught us, yeah,
Yes. So these are the two things which work for you. For
yeah.
audit.
Audit, it's about I would say rectification, sir. It's really important to rectify each and everything. Like
Hmm.
it's really professional ethics. We should learn it properly on tips
Hmm.
and all the important chapters. Like
Hmm.
there are special audits. It's really tough to learn, but still we
Hmm.
should find a way to
Hmm.
summarize the entire syllabus.
Hmm.
And and we should like if we are like insurance chapter, usually people find insurance chapter in audit very tough because there are
Hmm.
so it becomes exhausting. So by
Right.
the time when doing these kind of audits, when they have to
Hmm.
learn about verification of each and every different things, so that point revision is really important.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
they need to study audit from the start every day and keep on revising and revising. That's really important.
Okay. Multiple cycles of revision. Okay. This is for audit. Hmm. And law.
Okay, law was my personal favorite. I always wanted to know more and more.
Hmm.
That thing really helped me. But with law, I would say again, the summarized notes, it's important,
Hmm.
but interest is also important. Like when we are studying in insolvency professional chapter, sorry, in IBC code,
IBC.
we need to understand in the first reading very properly. Like this time, they really tested us in law. Really,
Hmm. Hmm.
they dived in deep and asked so many questions.
Hmm.
And because I had studied so well, I wrote it very properly. It's really important to go deep and study law,
Deep
but
understanding. Hmm.
still follow a summarized note.
Okay.
Not necessary to learn each and everything, but
Yes.
understand the concepts very well,
No, you put
because
it
they
right,
go
because when it comes to understanding, the understanding has to be deep, but when it comes to notes, note has to be short so that it can be
note has to.
memorized. Yes.
Yeah, they
For
need
SCM,
to learn only those things that they will
right.
replicate in the exam,
Replicate.
not
Noted.
the unnecessary
Noted.
notes.
Understood. For SCM,
SCM was the toughest thing. So you must be also knowing. I have told you so many times,
yes,
but
yes.
I will not give the SCM credit to wholly to me, but also to God, God's grace, and answer solving, sir. Solving
Okay.
questions.
Solving questions, yes.
For solving so many case studies, this time my luck favored and I got one case study which I had already done. So many
Perfect.
students thought that okay,
Hmm.
from where this case study came, but I had done that. So that helped me. That was the like one of the sole boost for me to clear this SCMP paper.
Right. A lot of people take elective exemption for granted. Any specific tip which has worked for you where you're sure that you're going to score an exemption? Like what actually works?
Obviously, sir, because you told us to find one primary group, and my
Hmm.
primary group I could really figure
Group,
out that
group
it
two.
was group
Hmm.
two because of the
Hmm.
exemption in it, and
Hmm.
it really helped me to set marks for my DT IDT in my
Yes.
mind.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
was around 40s and something,
Right.
and
Hmm.
the marks I've got also like that. So clearing group, and it's even more than group one also. So
Hmm.
yeah,
So this is
that
exemption
was
is critical for
really
aggregate, right? Hmm.
exemption is really really important.
Cool.
One
For
exemption is
DT,
DT is about DT. It becomes really tough to summarize whole DT syllabus
hmm.
because it's huge, humongous, and
Hmm.
no matter how much you do it before the exams,
Right.
but on the day before exam, it's very tough to revise, very tough.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
we need to find some way. What I did was my short notes, the index mapping that you told us,
Hmm.
that really helped. The short notes really helped. And we need to study in depth, obviously. That's really important, and
But
not
apart
cover
from that,
every.
right,
Don't no need to cover everything. It's not possible for a human mind to do in one day.
right,
It becomes really messed up.
right,
We need confidence on that one day also. We should
right,
not lower confidence.
right. And for IIT,
IDT is became my favorite in group two. I loved solving input tax credit and everything questions. The things that I really was so much paranoid about, like value of supply, place of supply, these things became fun for me. Like solving
hmm.
these questions, I just wanted to know, okay, where will be the place of supply?
Hmm.
So the best thing that helped me in was index mapping in IDT,
Once again, index
and
map. Hmm.
yeah, index mapping really helped me. Like all those chapters that we skip, I because I had made just short notes up near the index, I just
Hmm.
read those and I went for the exam.
Acha. Even before the
Yeah,
exam also.
yeah, I read those, and like there were chapters like this one,
Hmm.
so many like miscellaneous provisions and
Yes,
all
yes,
these
yes.
chapters.
Hmm.
We don't have time to focus
Time
on
to
all
go
that.
through. Hmm.
Yeah, index mapping really helped me in that.
Hmm. 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 So basically, you're able to revise DT and IDT using index mapping to a large extent.
Yeah, but the index mapping, sir, I had actually like you told us to write the three triggering
Three.
points
Hmm.
around
Hmm.
the near the index. But
Hmm.
what I did beyond the three triggering points, I actually made like added little bit detail in that. So
Hmm.
those details helped me, like
Right.
writing the penalties over there and just crisping it,
Hmm.
just crisping it a little bit.
Right, right. We
That's
always focus on improvisation because the first time when you do it, it's 1% summary. Eventually, it should become 10% summary. Like when you do it, redo it the second time, so it has to be 10% summary. Good,
Yeah, I
Aryan.
still remember you told us in the one session, like in this one, that when I showed you my index mapping, I still remember that day you told us that you told me that Aryan, I told you to this index mapping will give you around 10 or 15 marks, but this will give you 30, 40 for sure. And these are it has given me.
Because at that
Yeah,
point of time, your words were all over the book, not just those 3 lines. Normally people struggle. So when you extended that, it implies that you
yeah.
put that work and that becomes a short notes. You need not create one more short notes because if it's so
Yes.
exhaustive, and the best part is when you're revising from the same frame of book multiple times,
Same,
it sticks in your
yeah,
mind.
same material is really important. Same
Yes.
material is extremely important.
Right. 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 So let's get back. This will be extremely helpful for a lot of students, Aryan. Thanks for doing this along with me. Now, yeah, so this is a mark sheet which we're able to produce from here to here. Okay, from fail to pass. If you have to give 3 things which work really well, what are the top 3 things which work really well? Because of this, you're able to move from fail to pass in a very simple and short minute. 3 things. One, two, three.
Number one being obviously belief in
Believe.
mentor, obviously in you, universe, family, and friends. It's not always that our efforts matter. It's not always
Right.
our blessings matter, our belief matter. It's also about the blessings of our family. They are also praying for us. So things
Yes.
are gonna fall in place. Second
Yes.
one being consistency. Consistency extremely important. Sac
Good.
and third one being sacrifice.
Hmm.
Sacrifice and consistency are pretty complementary because unless we sacrifice, we cannot
We
be
cannot be
consistent.
consistent. True. Hmm.
I am so much obsessed with Durga, like Durga Puja here in my place, and
Right.
I had never missed any Durga Puja without pandal hopping. Pandal hopping, like we go to different pandals and
Yes. Yes.
all.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
Hmm.
I had never skipped that, but this time in
Hmm.
November 23 attempt, I skipped, and I literally remember like I felt like crying. But
Because you are.
that day,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
sat at home. My whole family went out for the
Hmm.
festival, but I did not. So those things really worked. Yeah, I guess sometimes even God feel like, okay, this person is doing so much. Okay, let's give him. So it's really important.
So God is like, if you don't go to him or her, that's when they realize
Sir,
that okay,
yeah,
somebody.
I'm a believer, sir. I believe so much. Like after this November 23, I believe in universe. I believe in manifestation, and she will give us like things will fall in place. If
Perfect.
we are
Perfect.
doing with the right intention and our efforts are genuine, and we
Hmm.
should not copy others.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Good to know. So basically, when things are tough, you decided to believe in things which are beyond you. It could be your mentor, it could be your family, it could be the universe. That is one. Second, in terms of consistency, you have to do certain sacrifices which will help you to stay consistent. Not everything can be done all the time. Yes. And what's the next thing, Aryan? What's the other thing?
To not to totally follow others.
Yes.
We are
You
also
gave
in
an
same.
example. Yes.
We are,
Yes. So
yeah,
it's
we
important that you customize it according to your needs because
improvisation, customization pretty
absolutely, that
important.
has to happen. Good, good. These are really helpful. So this is how we came to know about the news on that
There
day.
is a tendency, sir, like these people who have like me also, like
Mm,
people who
mm.
clear the exam generally they tell their way of doing things.
Right,
And
right.
usually these aspirants, what they do, they feel that okay, that's the way. That's not the
That's the
only
only
way.
way. They think
That was
that's the
their
only
way.
way. Mm,
That was
mm.
their way, not your
Yes,
way. You are a human
yes,
being. You have your own existence, own
right.
individuality. It's
So it
important.
is very important. Even this particular video, everybody has to understand that this is not the Aryan's way is not the only way. This is just one more way which we discovered. So students should find their own way. So that
Yeah,
is very, very important.
yeah. Like we can be guide for them, but we cannot be some a code like the coding. We are not coding them. You have to follow this. We are not like we are not making script for them. We are guiding them. They need to understand that.
Perfect, perfect. And I just want to understand this in a far more detailed way so that we'll be able to replicate this for next set of students as well. So you mentioned listing down my honest CA final journey. This was post May 2023 exam, and I was feeling like a failure because May 23 was my second attempt. I was sure that I'm gonna fail. Uh, this particular sentence, Aryan, like, why is it happening? I am seeing this time and again. How are you knowing that you're failing while writing itself or much before you write? Like how hard it is for a student to know that they're going to fail, still they have to go and write the exam and all. Like why is it happening?
So I see myself from the examiner point, and if I
Mm.
get my paper, I will not
I
pass
will.
myself.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that's a very mature statement. Good, good.
Yeah.
Now that day, I saw a ray of hope in the form of a beautifully drafted email from super student that was promising to provide the requisite aid to his CA finals. Now, what is this mail about, and how did one mail change your belief? Because mail is just a written text, right? Now, how did it change? How was it so impactful for you?
So this is another problem that most of the students go through on the result day, because most of the institutions are generally like hyping up the people who have excelled the examination. They
Right.
usually portray the people who have got all India rank one and all that, but they don't tell so much about the people who have really failed. If I'm going to be someone who is controlling all these things, a first video I'll put for the people who have failed and not for the people who have been successful. Because with successful people, there is already so much happiness. They don't
Right.
care about whether you are advertising me or not.
Mm.
But
Mm.
you are the one, sir. Your mail was only for focusing students who could not clear, and that thing really made me believe, okay, it's a sign off from universe, because that was something, sir. I was becoming a believer, and
Mm.
that email
Mm.
was the somewhat initial stage of my faith.
Understood. Understood. That's a nice because yeah, that is exactly the reason, Aryan. Because people who clear anyways they're clear, and I don't even spend much time. We are also doing this on the third day after results, on day one, day two, and we're all about what has happened to the students who had to see that F word on the result card, which is very hard to process. Yes, I'm glad that it was helpful on that day. Yes, with all faith in the universe, I replied to the email, and my journey with Super Student started, and I got the amazing opportunity to be mentored by CMF on the best thing that happened to me was to see so many students who had similar experience of failure in CA journey, and that made me realize that I have picked up a course where failure is common and success is rare. Now, how did this help, Aryan? Because you already know that 91% of the students fail, or 90%, 80% students fail. Now, what made you write this particular statement?
Uh, so it's also about the environment. Like in
Mm.
real life, I had so many friends
Mm.
who cleared much before me. Like
Mm.
even though in their school life they were like below me, but they became chartered accountants before me. And that thing
Right.
really kind of belittled me. But when I
Mm.
joined this, I got access to know about stories
So
of
many
so many who are not
stories.
clearing.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
obviously, people who are not clearing it is the majority. And
Right.
I came across so many people who are like so many responsibilities, like married, they have children, they are the sole earners of the family. Like they
Mm.
have to cater to a lot of things, and then what they are actually asking for is just few hours of study.
Right.
And when I compared myself to them, I felt like, okay, what I do generally is just I wake up and I just cry that I'm not able to clear the exam. So those things really
Mm. Understood. It's good that you're able to take it in the right way. Good. Now you have mentioned about many other tips, but these are the four mentioned points. Can you elaborate on this? When you talk about mindset, what actually happened, Aryan? What was the change in your mindset?
So the change in mindset, as I stated before, the change in perception of
Perception. Mm.
realizing that failure is not a bad thing,
Yes.
and substituting the word attempt with opportunity.
Opportunity.
Really, yeah.
Okay. So first is the acceptance part and not being harsh because today's email was all about you. Don't be harsh on yourself. The way you mentioned it, that is exactly how we conveyed it to other students. Good. Planning, yes. What changed in planning?
Planning is definitely as not excelling at each and every now, not trying to get 60 and 70,
Right.
but focusing on the reasonable 48s and 54s to give you the requisite 200.
Perfect. And what about this ruthless implementation?
Ruthless implementation totally resonates with consistency and sacrifice.
Right.
You have to sacrifice and be consistent, because consistency is the key. We have people have all those successful people have said one thing common, that consistency is the key. Whether it's people from Bollywood, people from industry, business, all these people have become successful only because they have ruthlessly implemented and sacrificed and being consistent in their life.
Perfect. Perfect. And finally, the paper presentation. How did you do it differently from your previous attempt, Avi?
Earlier, I did not give alternate solutions, but I
Hmm.
found this gem technique, sir, where in there are certain. It's very normal for us to confuse on the main day,
Right.
because
Right.
like we might feel like, okay, whether it's add or subtract. At
Hmm.
sometimes we give, like in even institute is not afraid
Hmm.
of giving us
Hmm.
alternate solutions.
Right.
Then why
Right.
should we
Why
be
should
like
you?
afraid?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I indirect tax I totally gave. okay,
Wow.
alternatively, we can do this. So, and even a lot of notes I gave, I totally forgot to give notes. So, in my previous attempts, I gave notes consistently. I gave notes everywhere, like
Right.
as much as I could, even though I had nothing to note about, but I still gave notes.
Good, good, good. So I think you got a good score in IDT, right? 58, I believe.
Yeah, 59 it was. Yes, sir.
And this particular sentence, as I said, today's email is all about this. Now, when you talk about don't be harsh on yourself, what exactly are you trying to imply, or what did you do differently after this has been said to you?
Sir, the linkage of hard work with success is really a misconception. People
Wow.
generally feel that if we are doing hard work, we will be successful. It's a wrong combination that we are doing right there.
Right.
Because we generally feel that obviously hard work will give you success, but it's not the time slot is not something which you are deciding. Like I did hard work in November 22 attempt, but I did not
Right.
achieve success. I did it in May 23 also, did not achieve, but I did it in this one. But it now it's not like my November 23 hard work, it's the compounding hard work that I have been doing since May 20, like May 20, November 22 attempt. Yeah, so till then, so hard work is giving success, but it takes time. Good things do take time, and we should not just take it as some line of motivation. We should take it as something meaningful and extract good things from it.
Lovely, lovely. So I like the statement, Aryan, linkage of hard work to success. You're absolutely right because the timeline does not match. Just because it's worked hard,
Yeah,
success is not going to
people
happen here.
feel that,
Yes.
yeah, that was the problem I was
Right.
going through. I thought that, okay, this one is the May 23 hard work. I'll get my success in May 23. It's wrong.
Excellent. Good, good, good. Yeah. And when you talk about this one, destiny, degree, and all of that, yeah, people over glorify or under glorify that. So, how did you understand this? CA is not a destiny; it's just a degree. Like because people like to glorify this, right? So, how do you? What is your take on this particular statement?
So this credit goes to totally, like, all these credit goes to you only, sir. Like, because um like, why will a CA final student sit in Zoom sessions and not study? But because you forced us to do these attend these Zoom sessions, and at that point I really felt like, okay, am I, whatever I'm doing, is it really worth it? But those things really proved worthy for me. Like, being a mentor, having a mentor in life is really important. I understood this.
Aryan, see, I always made my stand clearless. I want to operate as nobody. When I say nobody, it's not about Himakant, it's not about some mentor, or, because you are going to be a mentor for the next set of people also. So we're adopting this. We learn, it's called wisdom, right? We learn wisdom from a lot of people, from my own mentors and a lot of books. So we are conveying the truth. Like truth is always true. Truth is something which is always true. You just have to hand it over to the next generation of students, especially the future CS. That way they'll pick it up. So that is the reason why it's not like I'm saying it. I believe it. 100% credit goes to the student because when something gets said, it's not easy for a student to process this. Now, after you clear, we can talk about it. But on that day, when you could see that number 355, no matter what I say, how hard it is for you to take that up. So that is the reason why I completely give the credit to the student. And most importantly, you're also going to do it from here on to the next generation. I totally
But the fact
respect.
that but the fact that you said in our first interaction was believe in your mentor. So believing in your
Yes,
mentor is really important, because I have never even met you and I'm
right,
believing on you from this virtual connection.
right.
It was really important, sir. Like, believing in your mentor. If you don't have the faith in the mentor,
Faith.
then it's
Yes,
not useful. This
yes.
whole program is not useful.
Absolutely. So the belief part again, when I say mentor, it's more about the process, more than the person. Because see,
Trusting the process,
yeah.
yeah.
So Aryan, you also mentioned that there is no one way to do it. There are multiple ways, right? So when you talk about a person, it becomes a different game altogether. Like where you focus on the person heavily. But if you talk about the process, okay, this is the process. A person is facilitating it. There is one person who is facilitating the process. So that way, yes, I totally, uh, accept the ideology that yes, unless you believe, unless you trust, nothing can be done. So that way you're able. That is also not easy. No, trusting someone is also not easy. Especially, I have never met most of my students. Like 99% of students, I never met. That way, yes, we're able to build that bond and connection. And conclusively, regarding this tips, methods, and techniques, can you throw some light on few things like what are the other things apart from what you discussed in terms of tips and techniques which were really helpful for you?
Sir, even from I think starting from even the BBT, the box breathing technique,
Hospital. Yeah.
three things that well today, and
Hmm.
to the focus block techniques, these things really helped. Like
Perfect.
I used to do this BBT even before, but I did not know it was
Hmm.
BBT.
Repeat.
But
Right.
you made me, restart that, and those things really help. Like, and then the three things that went well today. Like
Hmm.
we generally have tendencies to think all the things that have went bad, but just the three things that has gone well. Even there were days when even no things went well, but
Hmm.
still that made me like seeing other people texting about the
Texting
well
them.
things
Hmm.
really motivated. Okay, I will also make things well from tomorrow.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
and the focus block as matlab, these things really help. Like dividing this 1 hour of study into
1 hour.
50 minutes,
Right.
10
15
minutes.
minutes. Hmm.
That really helped.
So you're
So
able
there were
to
also other techniques, but I resonated with these
with this
like the
techniques.
most,
Understand. Yes.
and I implemented it in my preparation.
Yes. And probably this is my favorite sentence in the entire feedback. Now, conclusively, I got the correct and much needed boost that made me have control on my lives and desires and study in a more disciplined and focus, because this has got the right set of words: focus, discipline, control, desires. Like, what do you mean by this? This is a very deep and powerful sentence. I want to know about the background behind you writing that.
So like we are human beings and we have so many distractions, so many emotional, mental, everything, a lot of distractions. But
Hmm.
one thing is common that all the CA aspirants that they want to be a chartered accountant.
Hmm.
And they need to control their lives because it's
Right.
not like we are 16-year teenagers that we can howl around and depend on our parents totally, that
Right.
like when only when mom will tell us then only we'll study. We need to have control on our life because if we want to be successful we need to be ambitious, passionate and consistent about it. And this mantra of discipline I learned from you because you gave us the schedule, right? And at that point also I had invested my money in this program, so I felt like, okay, I will do
To
it. Why
follow
will
it.
I not?
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and that monetary thing motivated me to follow the schedules. And
Absolutely.
it
Absolutely.
was
Hmm.
by the time I was following it is what was already 1 month. And as everyone says, it takes 21 days to follow a habit, right? So it became a habit and I started studying. So studying and putting effort was never a problem, but what was the problem was the mindset. And I
Yes.
solved that. Controlling my life actually happened by removing the trash from my mind and just making the goal clear, like the blind's eye in the
Right.
horse's eye.
Right.
Like
Right. Perfect.
that's
Perfect.
really
Good.
important.
Yes. And with that deal, I paid my number 23 CA. Nice. Thanks for telling me, sir. Yes. So basically, since you have said it, I also have to tell you something, Aryan. So I always believe great teachers are made by super students, not the other way around. So for me, I also believe that we are meant to meet this way. I'm really happy, proud that you're able to use this wisdom, which took me years to generate and share it. So because when you said that you're the first member in your family, I'm clearly seeing the trajectory of your family, which is going to happen. So it's you're going to shift the class of your family. When I say family, your parents and the next family which you're going to create from your own. So both these families get affected. Two generations will get affected because of one single step which you're taken by putting in that discipline and focus for 3 to 4 months, right, Aryan? Like if you look at the core of the mentorship, the heart, we focus on 100 days. Most of the work is done in 100 days.
Yes, sir.
So that is the reason why I strongly believe that anyone, if you move from 350 to 408, even people, there are people who moved from 300 to 400. So that way, 100 days is enough for people to go ahead and crack this exam. And you have proved it once again that it is absolutely possible. And these are the three things which I want you to keep in mind forever, Aryan, even moving forward: time, energy, attention. Don't waste any of them. I did not write money here. You can go ahead and waste money. That's totally fine. You can earn it. But time, energy, attention, if you waste it, it has consequences. Like when you waste time, you go in a different direction, and that will pull you in that direction. It will be very hard for you to come back even after clearing. Please keep these things in mind. And yes, if you have to say in a sentence, what is the biggest change in your preparation? I'm talking about overall preparation. What changed before and after? So these questions are for people who are looking to take a decision after watching this particular session. If somebody wants to join us, now I'm summarizing that in the 2-3 questions in just a couple of minutes. So what is the biggest change in your preparation? If you have to give an overview of that, what changed?
Just the two words, being practical.
being practical. Wonderful. Lovely. Understood. Now, a lot of students find it hard to decide whether to join it or not. Did you have the same question, Aryan? How hard or how easy was your decision to join Him Life School when you wanted to join? What happened in your decision making process?
I was very bored with failure in my life and I just wanted a shift in my life.
Hmm.
I wanted something different in my life. And I felt like, okay, let's go for this.
Let's
And
go for
change is
this.
really
Hmm.
important. When everything is going wrong, do one thing that is going to change your life. That's really important.
Perfect. Perfect. And what is the critical factor which helped you? Because there are testimonials, there are feedbacks, there are recorded videos, there are a lot of things. So, what made you join? Like you experienced it, and then you decided. What was the decision making point which made it easy for you to join?
So the email was the sole
Email.
motivator.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
that
one
really,
email, you understood. Okay, this is what it is. Okay. Good.
yeah, that email made me a chartered accountant.
That email made me a child icon.
If we put
Interesting.
it that way. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Good to know. And would you recommend our program to other students? If yes, why?
Obviously, I will. Hell yes. If yes, because like, why not, sir? Like, why not? Like, everything is good here. They are teaching you so much about discipline. There's so much teaching about consistency. Even someone like me, who was always happy-go-lucky, like even with little efforts, things went right. And then
Hmm.
someone who saw a failure,
Hmm.
and this
Hmm.
happy-go-lucky culture doesn't work throughout the life. So
Hmm.
someone who got learned so much about discipline and follow consistency and everything these things became possible because of this mentorship only. So
Perfect.
obviously, like, why not?
Perfect. And one thing which you notice, Arya, because a lot of people, students especially, they do it in the right intention. They don't want to spend their parents' money. They don't have money at the disposal. So when it comes to investing in a program, personalized program like this, they kind of undergo a lot of hardship, thinking that they can do it on their own, or trying to pass using our. See, 90% of our resources are free for 90% of the people because we operate with limited students. But someone who genuinely needs it, but then they're thinking about money, what is your suggestion to them?
So I am also not like someone who is rich. Like, I also sacrifice the money, but
Yes.
sacrificing money is really important to upscale
Important.
ourselves.
Right.
And I really expended so much, and then I have upskilled myself, and
Right.
I cannot see myself doing it without your
Without.
mentorship.
Absolutely. So, for even for students who find it hard to invest, you're suggesting them to invest because it is going to bring that kind of change at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
like, if things have been so wrong and that you need some guidance, and then you should, because we are
Yes.
chartered accountant fraternities, sir, now.
Yes.
So we should have that spirit.
That's a good one.
Like, yeah,
Right. It's worth it, right? When you say a CA fraternity, it's like an expensive club, or it's like a very privileged status
yeah,
in
like,
the
we
society.
want
Yes.
other people to be chartered accountants too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good. Good. And finally, this is where you are, Aryan. So you become a super student, cleared in one attempt after joining us. When I say one attempt after joining us, and this is the next target for you. You are coming back and saying, "See, we don't care about money. Now let's understand this. We don't care about money. But if you don't have to care about money, you need to have good amount of money. Otherwise, you will have to care about money. So this is the next thing you're updating. And I'm already seeing this all-round personality in terms of the maturity of responses. We'll keep focusing on this. You'll be invited to a part of our team. So we'll do that discussion a bit later. And finally, when I say human intelligence master, this is an ideal type. Say, let's say when you talk about God, God is not about a person, right? So there are a set of attributes which each deity displays. Now, all our students eventually, when I say human intelligence master, a person should be like this. Him or her should be like this so that they'll become a role model to others and they're very easy to navigate. And most importantly, they'll add some value to the world. So that is exactly what I'm expecting from you, Aryan. So once again, my heartfelt blessings and wishes for you for your future. I'm very, very happy with the amazing work you've done, and most importantly, the level of maturity. I've been observing you from point to point. Now, most of your responses are very mature. So I'm happy and proud that I was able to mentor you. So with this, I would like to conclude this session at this junction. But I would like to you to come back, talk to a lot of people, mentor them, take responsibility, and add a lot of value to this program and process. So I wish you all the best. And any closing remarks from your side, Aryan?
Sir, I'm just filled with gratitude, sir. Overwhelmed and super grateful that I got this great opportunity. Like, it's still a dream come true moment for me to sink in.
So this is this is what I love the most about these journeys, Aryan, because it's a very deep connection. It's a very deep connection which is not otherwise possible, irrespective of my work exposure in corporate, or I had the opportunity to go and settle in a very different country, London. When I compare all of this, this is very gratifying, especially it adds value to both the ends. For me, this you made my day. Like this particular session made my day, and for you, I can see that with this qualification, you are going to go change the world to the extent you can. So once again, a virtual hug and all the very best, Aryan. We'll keep meeting. Okay, see you then.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah.
Thanks.